be on at 9 p.m. and then I had to cancel because I wasn't feeling good. So we'll see if anybody comes around to hang out. Starting to feel better now. I got some food into me. What it is I get a monthly injection every month in my stomach. Sometimes I feel fine, and sometimes it kicks the crap out of me for a day or two. And quite frankly, it feels like drug withdrawals, and it's not a very good feeling. Um, Luckily, I went through most of it today, and it has started to pass. Needed something good to eat. You know how when you're sick, you don't want to just eat anything. So I had to go to 3 different Tim Hortons, and then I had to go to a Wendy's to get some chili, but I just wanted some chili. I got a story to tell you guys. Hello, Craig Jones. Somebody's here besides Glenn. Um, I'll wait a couple minutes. I got a couple interesting stories. You guys remember today I was going to pick up a 1 of 18 scale, the black Honda from Fast and Furious. And unfortunately, well, I won't get into it just yet. I'm going to wait a couple minutes, see if anybody else comes. I did make a post on my face on YouTube, but I didn't share the link or anything like that for it. Like I didn't do what I normally do, so we'll have to see if anybody's around wants to hang out. Let's see if anybody noticed my post earlier. One person did, so I posted it about an hour ago. Thank you, Craig Jones, for coming. Anybody else here, speak up. I know there's 4 people here. I got a good story to tell about, well, an interesting story anyway to tell you guys. Luigi, hey buddy, yeah, I'm starting to feel better. I got some food into me. I don't know how long you've been here for, Luigi, but I was just saying that once a month I get an injection in my stomach, and it's a big friggin' long needle. And about half the time I feel great, I feel normal, and then the other half it kicks the crap out of me. And today that's what it did. And wow, I gotta really remember to shut off Facebook notifications next time. So I did not go to ODA today, but I don't regret that because Glenn said there was nothing there that I would have been into. Like I do still like small scale stuff, guys, but I don't buy it unless I absolutely love it. Dave got a really good deal on it. I didn't even know it existed, but a Hot Wheels Millennium Ferrari. It looks like it's done in chrome. He got the 118. He got a good deal on that. So anyway, I think we waited long enough here. There's a couple people in here. Shadow Warrior, how you doing, buddy? I went to a swap meet today and got a metal body, metal base, 143 scale matchbox. Oh, nice. Budweiser decals. I've never seen that. I'll have to look that up. Thank you, Luigi. Yeah, and you know what's funny? So every month I have to go around my stomach because it leaves a little scar tissue lump. So this is that's last month there. Still has a little mark actually. Or no, that's the new one actually because it's bruised. Dropping stuff everywhere, but it actually leaves a lump, and they have to do it in a different spot every time. But I'll be honest with you, Luigi, the reason that I have to get that needle is my own fault. And it's because I decided to use drugs a few years ago. So that needle actually it's I haven't touched opioids in like 7 years, but it's like an anti-opioid. It's called Sublocade. Doesn't get me high. It doesn't do anything like that. It just makes me not. It takes away any withdrawal I would have had or anything like that. And quite frankly, it saved my life. There's a lot of people that talk crap about that stuff. That stuff turned my life around. I will say that. So the people that talk negative about that stuff and about people using it to get sober and stuff, they don't really know the situation. Hello, Ted. How you doing? So enough of you are here. Sorry I'm late, guys. There would have been more people here, but usually it's for 9 p.m. As you guys know, I was not feeling well earlier, and I do not miss a live unless there's a very good reason for it. I think the last time I missed a live was the same reason. Needle day, and I didn't feel good the next day. And I think I've only ever had to cancel the one, actually. So anyway, you guys remember that on Marketplace last night, I wish I could show you a picture, but on Marketplace last night, I came across an ad, if you watched my last video, and all it said was Fast and Furious cars. And it had a picture of two cars. One of them was the black Honda by Racing Champions, okay? And I looked at it, I said, wow, $45. Wow. So I messaged the person. It was loose and it looked like it had scratches on the door, but the scratches turned out to be a decal that could be peeled off. Nothing was broken. It wasn't missing mirrors. I asked the seller specific. First question I asked, what scale are these? He got back to me, 1 of 18 scale. I said, okay. Now, I am not blaming the seller at all. I believe he was just misinformed. I don't think he did it intentionally. So I said, okay, sold. Like at first I offered him 25 just for the black Honda. And he said, well, to be honest with you, those fetch decent money. And he's right, they do. He said, so I was selling just the Honda for 45 and I was throwing in the blue car for free. It was a blue car, blue Honda. I know it wasn't, well, it might have been actually a Fast and Furious car. I don't know. I wasn't familiar to me, okay? And I'm familiar with the 1 of 18 scale line. So I tell him last night, I say, okay, the whole thing was a nightmare, but I'm not blaming this kid at all, okay? So last night I tell him, because I had plans today. I was planning to do the live with you guys earlier. Me and Giuliano were supposed to hang out today. So I said to the guy, I said, okay, well, late morning or early afternoon, I'm going to message you and I'll come get them tomorrow if you're home. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be home. Okay, perfect. Here's your money. Here's the password. So later that night, I'm always watching if I send a stranger money on Facebook. And there's only certain circumstances I'll do it in. So I checked and he hadn't accepted the money yet, which I thought was kind of odd. But I said, okay, maybe he's waiting till I get there and I'm happy with everything. So today comes and I start messaging him like probably just before noon. Hey man, what's your address? I'm going to come by and get those. No response. Hours go by. I think it was almost 4 o'clock when he got back to me. And he said, hey. I said, hey, can I come get the cars now? And he says, yes. I said, okay, what's the address? No response. Then I start getting upset because I'm chasing it now for hours. So I message him. I say, look, man, last night I told you I was going to message you, or I was going to message you shortly before noon. I'm not trying to be pushy, but I had my whole day's plans have went out the window now because of chasing this, right? If you don't want to sell it, just let me know. And finally, he gets back to me and says, here's the address. And he gives me the address. And it's in Dundas. Now, he told me that he lived near McMaster. It's true that he wasn't far from McMaster, but Dundas is on the other side, a little bit further than I thought. But whatever, it was 5 minutes further. But we're talking about a 25-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now, okay, each way. So I get out there. Sorry, guys, I'm going to check the message or the comments in a second. So I get out there and I find the house and I message him. Well, first I start knocking at the door and there's nobody answering the door. There's a dog barking. Vehicles are in the driveway. At first I thought, have I been had? Is somebody going to come to the door and say, what effing cars? So I message him. I say, hey, man, I'm at your door. And he says, I know. I see you on my camera. I said, okay, well, I don't see any cars here. Oh, yeah, they're there. They're down in the corner. I look, and there's 2 cars in the corner just sitting there. I pick up the Honda. I'll show you guys pictures in the next video I do, which will be unboxing, by the way, because I'm going to borrow a car even to unbox if I don't find one to review. So I pick up the Honda Civic because that's the one I was really interested in. Pick it up, and it fits in the palm of my hand. Like at first, I thought it was the Jada ones from Walmart, like the same size, but I think it was actually 1 of 24 scale. Okay, not a horrible price, but actually, yeah, when you're expecting the 1 of 18 for $45 loose, it's kind of not a great price, but whatever. Soon as I picked it up in my hands, I pick it up, hood opens, doors do not open. I didn't even pick up the blue one. I messaged the guy back. I said, and this is what tells me it wasn't done intentionally, because the whole thing looks sketchy. Like he's talking to me, he's watching me through a camera, talking to me, but he will not come outside and talk to me, right? And I even said before I went today, I said, him saying he's going to leave them on the steps, that gives me a bad feeling, like that they're not what they should be. But I think that it was an honest mistake, because I message him and I say, you know what, dude, I'm going to pass. And he was so not attentive. Like I had sent him an e-transfer, and then he was giving me his email again when I was at the door. I said, dude, I sent that last night with the password. It's still sitting there. Luckily, he doesn't have auto deposit. I'm not saying luckily because he's a scammer or anything, because he didn't scam me. I don't believe he was trying to scam me either. That's the point. I don't believe it was intentional. But I said, you know what, dude, I'm not interested. And as I'm walking back to my car, I open up my banking app, cancel e-transfer, put it back in my account, boom, done. He messages me when I'm in my car and says, it is 1 of 18 scale. Look, and he starts sending me pictures from Google. And I went, you realize, like, I could tell he's not really a collector. He probably watched Fast and Furious movies, seen them in the store, grabbed them whatever years ago, but he's not really much of a collector. He says, they are 1 of 18 scale. Look, and he sends me pictures. I said, bro, they're not. I said, I collect, like, this is what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I could tell by holding that in my hands, it's not 1 of 18 scale. And I said, and you realize that they made that car, the exact car, in different scales, right? Probably different companies too. I said, I'll tell you what, because I started second guessing myself. I said, I don't want to drive away because it could be just look smaller because it's a Honda, right? But it's still fit in the palm of my hand. So I said, I'll tell you what, let me come back. I'm going to come back to the steps, have a closer look. I said, was it made by Racing Champions or Jada? Because if he said Jada right there, it's an automatic. It's not 1 of 18. He didn't know. So I go back to the steps where it was, and I looked, and the bottom of it actually said Racing Champions. So it was the car that I was after, but the wrong scale. Damn it. And like I said, when I went back the second time, I checked the doors. The doors did not open on the car. So that sucks. That sucked. I went all the way out there. Thankfully, I didn't lose money over it. I just lost a bit of gas and time. And like I said, I don't believe that he tried to scam me because, yeah, just the way everything went. You know what I mean? And now I'm going to catch up on. Thank you, Kevin, for giving me a like, trying to get laundry done. Thank you, buddy, for taking the time to pop in here. I find the 118 Ertl Racing Champions Fast and Furious 9500 Civic for $25. That is awesome, buddy. Wow. That's the type of deal I thought I was getting without a box, you know what I mean? But I'm okay with that. You got hooked up big time, Ted. That's killer. Just got here. Hello, Kevin. Yeah, I'm late myself, buddy, because I wasn't feeling good earlier. I was supposed to be on at 9, but I just actually got on because I'm starting to feel a bit better. And then I've got a story to tell you guys, too. A couple stories about today. It was an odd day. So, Make sure I'm not wearing it. So I leave Dundas, where the car is at, and I say, I'm going to hit Barton Walmart because I got a hot tip earlier in the day that there was some toy skids coming out that had a bunch of die-cast on it. Problem was that guy hadn't called me yet, so I wasn't going to drive across town to the Barton Walmart, come home, and then this guy calls me and says I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? So on the way back, I went to Barton Walmart. And oh my goodness, guys, the bad behavior out of adults. So they had a full bin of main lines. Like they looked like they were just put out. So my friend's tip was good. There was two adults there that were, the guy looked like he had a decade on me, at least. And he was there with his wife. And they had the whole dump bin, like they put everything back, but when it went back, it was just in a heap with bent cards and you know what I mean? But they had the whole dump bin out. Like it was like they were looking for crack, like just frantic, you know what I mean? And I thought, I used to behave just like that, but I would put everything back neat. But I used to put everything in a shopping cart like that. But I just said, damn, the way people look doing that, I'm glad I'm not like that anymore. I'm a lot more casual now because it's just not a good look. They were just frantic. They look like Tasmanian devils, you know what I mean? The way they were going through that. So I ended up getting a couple things for G actually. And there were Matchbox not moving parts. It's another wave, but they're not bad. So then you guys know I hate bullies too. So then I'm driving back and I said, I'm going to check Centennial Walmart. And right when I'm coming off the QEW, there's a spot where you got to wait for traffic to stop so you can actually pull out. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting there and there's tons of traffic and it's taking me a minute to get out. And it's funny because I was filming at the time, making a video for you guys earlier, just showing what happened today. And I got the camera rolling and I said, you watch. I said, some dickhead is going to start honking at me. And sure enough, soon as I said it, and not just a couple taps, like leaning on it. And I'm like, what does he want me to do? Pull out and wreck my car? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to risk, and I'm also not going to just dump the clutch and floor it because this guy's in a hurry, right? Screw him. So the honking wasn't enough. He starts screaming and yelling at me. All I could hear is aggression coming from the car behind me, and he's leaning on the horn. You'd think this was a 400-pound steroid head the way he was acting, right? So I said on camera to you guys, I said, there's probably going to be, I know there's a light up here. If the light's red, we'll see what he's got to say there. So I pull up, and sure enough, guys, guess who's in the very next lane in the next spot beside me? I pull up, roll the window down, and he just starts hiding. He starts hiding his head, everything, and then he creeps over behind this red minivan. It's like, what happened to the guy 5 minutes ago? You know what I mean? That if you watch my videos, guys, I never honk at people like that. I never use my horn like that because you don't know who it could be. You know what I mean? What if I'm yelling abuse at because I'm in Hamilton? What if I'm yelling abuse and it's some gangster in front of me? You know what I mean? And he comes back and shoots me, or it's some big guy that comes and punches my head in. You know what I mean? I don't do it. So a little guy with glasses that's like 120 pounds shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? But it's how society is now. Like, the way I see it is if you cannot behave like that standing in front of somebody, just don't do it. You know what I mean? Because it looked hilarious. This guy, all aggression behind me, and then the whole group of cars seen when we pulled up beside, and he's hiding. Like he was literally hiding, wouldn't even look at me. It's funny. And like I said, I never honk the horn at people like that because I know the risks of it. Like the only time I would honk is to avoid an accident. You know what I mean? You don't know who could be out there. And it's not the first time it's happened, people honking, and then when you get beside them, they won't even look at you. There's Dave. Dave sent us a couple more videos from his concerts, too. I have someone honking the horn at me and turn line at the red. Oh yeah, that's what I mean, Ted. Yeah. And even and another thing people don't realize about it is you don't have to turn on the red. Like that's optional. Like you don't have to turn. I've had people behind me and I'm doing something or something and I should be paying attention, but the light's red. They'll start honking because I didn't turn. It's like you don't have to turn right when it's red. You know what I mean? Like you can wait till it's green if you want. Yeah, and they wonder why, you know what I mean, people get assaulted, shot, stuff like that. Now, I wasn't going to assault the person or shoot them or anything. I just do it to prove a point to people, you know what I mean? Like, behave. Like, well, I just seen a bunch of bad behavior when I was out today from how people were, how they were driving to behaving in the stores. Crazy. Ever since COVID, it's like something changed in certain people, man. I swear to God, it's weird. Um, anyway, any of you guys go to the ODA show today? I didn't go because I don't collect much of the smaller scale anymore. You guys know that. And Glenn confirmed that there wasn't much that I would have liked there. But if anybody went, let me know in the comments here. Um, Nate and all the regular people probably are not on here because, like I said, it's kind of an unannounced live. I felt bad. I feel bad when I have to cancel lives, guys, and it's funny because when I was in the Walmart earlier, I started feeling a bit better too. And I said I should put up something saying I'm going to do a live because I feel better. And then I said, you know what? As soon as I do that, it's going to come back again. But I ended up, I'm feeling better now. So, but Canadians are supposed to be humble. Oh, no kidding, Kevin. No kidding. Yeah, ever since I just noticed. And you know what else drives me nuts, Kevin? The anonymous posting. Like I'm in some Hamilton groups for just Hamilton, like what's happening, neighborhood watch and stuff like that. The posting anonymously. Like they will make a post attacking somebody or something, you know what I mean? And then you look to see who it is, posted anonymously. That should not be allowed. Like that is just empowering these people, you know what I mean? Like damn, they're already empowered behind a keyboard. Imagine them when they're going to be able to post and nobody knows who it is. You know what I mean? That's a bad idea. So getting on to the good stuff, if you guys seen the video last night, I am thrilled about what's going on with the Mylar acetate stuff. So anybody in this live that missed it, last night we did a video, and this is big. I'm surprised more people didn't watch the video, but it's my thumbnails kind of sucked for it, stuff like that. But I always used to say, I can't even imagine if we were able to do a whole window replacement on a box, because that's your curb appeal, right? That's a lot of the value. And not to mention, it sucks if you have a high-end car and it's in a nice box and then there's dings and stuff like that, right? We figured out a way to successfully replace the whole window on the box. That is the Mylar acetate, guys, I'll say it attracts dust big time. That's what you're seeing on it. It's like they're magnetically charged. I'm going to have to give it a wipe, but that is brand new. And it looks great. I even got the corner nice and sharp too. And that was a job that I did. You guys seen how quick I did it. I'm going to get everything streamlined. I even ran out of glue and had to use tape. And the tape still held up. I got to get more crazy glue. Instead of using crazy glue too, I'm thinking about actually trying to get the extra adhesive tape to do it because it's so much easier with tape and there's not such a mess. Or you can get those Gorilla Glue strips. But that is something I'm going to be into over the next couple days. If you guys remember, I fixed my auto art box months ago. I thought it was fixed, but it wasn't really fixed because these windows, it turns out, have a little slit up in the corner here, and I put the slits in this. But the auto art box, I fixed it. It looked perfect for my Bullet Mustang. It looked perfect. And then I went to slide the car in, and it would not slide in, and it wrecked the plastic. It's because I didn't have the slits in the corners. So you have to make sure when you do that, you got the slits in the corners. And just to show you guys this stuff, This is 7.5 millimeter thick. It is the perfect thickness for it, guys. Like, it's absolutely so. You get 8 sheets of it, and it comes to 20. Where I'm at in Canada, anyway, it comes to $22 shipped. Okay. Now it might sound expensive, but 8 sheets will do 16 boxes of this average size. The reason I say average size is because my auto art box is a little bit bigger than the average car box. But it'll still do the auto art box because you just cut it to the length that you need it. But even the width that this comes in, guys, like, look at the width of the roll. Like, tell me that it's got the perfect amount of overhang on the edges of it. Like, tell me that stuff is not made to do this with. Yeah, awesome investment. That's something I've always wanted to do, and that is you're going to see me doing a lot more of that because I have a lot of older boxes. Even my silver screen machine, General Lee, one sec, I'll grab that. Even that box, if you guys remember, I'll refresh your memory in a second. One sec, guys. So even this box here, if you guys have been following me for a minute, this car was my first big deal, and it was the one that told me that this stuff could be gotten for cheap, okay? But if you remember, I got the car for $100. It didn't have a box. And that was 2.5 years ago, I think. I pledged I'm going to get a box for this car. And it took me this long, okay? Now, the box is pretty decent. To give you guys an idea, it's got the original price tag on it. I don't know if that's American or Canadian, but $129.99. The box is decent, but it does have, and that bugs me, guys, when it's got little, you could see them now. That just bugs me, you know what I mean? So I will be fixing that up. Luckily, all the other plastic here is good. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because it's an easy project. You just got to make sure you have a sharp knife. Your cuts are all good, and leave yourself extra room when you do it because it's better to have too much than not enough. You know what I'm saying? Just making sure I'm getting caught up on the comments. Oh, Kevin, I don't think you guys are a-holes. And you know what's funny, Kevin? Hey, Avery, I'm glad you made it, buddy. I thought you were from here, Kevin. So that goes to show you that I don't think you guys are a-holes at all. Oh, Elvis, the Ferrari Dino, whatever. Oh, yeah, I've seen that one. Motorhead's Garage. You know what's funny? I should have waited to tell the story, but I'm late on the live tonight because I wasn't feeling good. This is kind of like that's why we don't have the normal amount of people because I wasn't feeling good earlier. I canceled it and then I just popped on kind of unexpected. So I'm going to tell the story again about the Civic just so everybody knows what happened. So the black Civic, it was a nightmare dealing with the guy first. I don't think that he intended to do this, okay? I will say that. I don't think it was intentional. I think he was misinformed. So it started out, I closed the deal last night, sent the e-transfer. I noticed he didn't accept the e-transfer overnight, which kind of was weird, but I thought maybe he's waiting till I get there to make sure everything's good. So I go there today after chasing all day. Like I was messaging this guy. I told him I'd message him late morning, early afternoon to come get the car. It was 4 or 4:30 or something by the time finally I got an address out of him, okay? And I had already sent a message saying, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, I've been messaging you all day, right? So I drive all the way out to Dundas, about 25 minutes from here. And I walk up to the house. I'm knocking at the door, nobody's there. And I message him and I say, I was expecting somebody to come say, what are you talking about, a car for sale? I thought I might have been scammed for the first time. But he messages me back and says, nope, I'm watching you on my camera. I said, okay. Well, I don't see the cars here. He goes, oh, they're here. They're there. They're just down in the corner. I look down in the corner. I said, those look small. And I pick one of them up. I pick up the Honda. It fits in the palm of my hand. I'm like, I know it's going to be smaller, but it's not that small. You know what I mean? So I messaged him back and I said, I'm not interested. That is not one of 18. And that's the first thing I asked him when I messaged him, the scale. What scale is it? And he said, one of 18 scale. So I messaged back. I said, you know what? I'm going to pass. I'm not interested. And right when I was doing that, he was asking me he was giving me his email. He didn't realize I sent the e-transfer already. So while I was walking back to the car, I canceled the e-transfer back into my account. And then he started messaging me with pictures saying, it is one of 18 scale. Look, these are off of Google. I looked on Google. And I said, bro, I said, I don't think you did it intentionally. I think it's an honest mistake. I said, but that's not what I said. I collect this stuff, dude. I said, that's not one of 18 scale. I would bet on it. And he said, but it is. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go back. You're going to see me come on your porch again. I said, I'm going to have a closer look at the car. Because in hindsight, guys, I started doubting myself. Because I was like, what if I drive away from here and that was just smaller because it's a Honda? Because you know it's going to be a smaller one. I don't have any die-cast one of 18 scale Hondas, so I don't know, you know what I mean? So I wanted to be sure I wasn't screwing myself. So I went back up to the porch, looked. It was made by Racing Champions, I'll say that. I thought it was a Jada at first. I was asking him that. But the doors didn't open. So I think it was a 1 of 21 scale, so I left it there. So that is what happened with that. So it doesn't have to again look at the scale. Thank you. That's a good tip. Thank you. I'm going to keep that. That is something I did not know. The 1 of 18 scale has red seat belts. That is a very good tip. You know what I warn people about Motorhead's Garage is everybody, and I see it every day still. Those Tokyo Drift cars, the Fast and Furious, that Monte Carlo, if you go on Marketplace right now and find 10 of them, 9 out of 10 of them are going to say it's 1 of 18 scale, and you're going to zoom in on the wheels, and it's not 1 of 18 scale, and it's because it doesn't say it anywhere on the box. I think half of the people don't realize, and the other half of the people do know, and they're just cashing in on people that don't know. But like I said, the ratio is so high, like 8 or 9 out of 10 of those Monte Carlo cars, in fact, I have one handy right now, is only 1 of 21 scale, but people are selling them for 1 of 18 scale money. And I've also made posts about that. The Mustang, you can tell too a difference. The Mustang has a certain number on the box or something. I can't remember, but I put it all on my Facebook. This guy here, guys, a very easy ways to tell, just like the tip that Motorhead's Garage gave me. So the 1 of 18 scale has different wheels. It's got smoked headlights. This is the 1 of 21. And when the seller sold me this, he was honest and told me what it was. And the engines in these two cars, despite them supposed to be the same car, are completely different from one another. Just going to put on some light for you guys here. So if you guys remember which engine this looks like, this is the 1 of 21 scale car. So if you ever go to buy one of these and you pop the hood, it's got this engine, it's not 1 of 18 scale. That is a very good tip, Motorhead's Garage, about the seatbelts being red, because it's something very easy. Okay, Greg, I didn't know if I should be giving people's name on here. But yeah, it's a very good tip, because that's something easy to remember. Be nice to have Breaking Bad collection. The RV Bounder would be a good, but IKCS. Thank you for chiming in, my friend. Anybody else that's there, You could chime in on the comments where there's no trolls in here. Nobody's going to attack you in here. We're a very laid back crowd. We just talk about diecast, movie cars, and stuff we love. So you don't have to worry about anything in here. And thank you, IKCS. And that would be awesome, having the RB Bounder in 1 of 18. Can you imagine the size of that thing, though, if it was 1 of 18 scale? But I would love it. The bus from Speed, they made that. I believe that's only 1 of 43 scale they did it in. You know, the bus from the movie Speed. That was a good movie. I wish they did that in 1 of 18 scale, but the size of it would be just huge. But I would love that. I think it'd look awesome. There is no reason. Exactly, Kevin. Yeah. And thank you, IKCS. Thank you very much. Good to hear from you. And yeah, there's no reason to troll in here, but you know, sometimes people will jump on. Although I do have the settings cranked down, I think that my settings are such that you cannot even comment unless you're a subscriber. But you know what I would do to knock the trolls out if it started happening? What I would do is I would make it so that people cannot comment. Like, you could do different things in the settings. You have to be subscribed for over an hour to comment. I would put it like that. That way people couldn't just subscribe just to mouth off. But usually we don't have trouble in here. We had one troll in here when I first started doing them, and I was nice to him. And I think because we were all being nice to him, he actually started being nice back, and he pops in every once in a while and just hangs out. I think he liked it because it was just, you know, he wasn't getting insulted and hate back, right? He was like, "Whoa, these are nice people," and he felt bad. But yeah, anybody's welcome. Well, there's a few shitheads that aren't welcome, but other than that, everybody else is welcome. And you guys know who the shitheads are. Centennial Night Scalper's not welcome, of course, for sakes. And yeah, so I got some footage today when I was out. I stopped at Barton Wally, which was pretty jam-packed. Got video of the guy honking at me and stuff like that. And when I pulled up to the light, and he was like, yeah. And like I said, guys, that goes for me too. I don't honk at people because I know somebody can walk up to my window and feed me one through my window. You know what I mean? You never just don't do it to people. These, I got this in the last week. Most of you seen them. And Gordon has these now. I felt bad. Gordon collects them, so I felt bad that I didn't offer them. These are apparently pretty popular. These I couldn't believe. If anybody collects smaller scale stuff, these are $8 plus tax now at Walmart each. I could not believe it. They were $5 each when they came out, and we were bitching about that. And that was only 2 years ago or something, or a year ago. They went from $5 to $8 each, and people were mad about the 5 because they don't have premium features, like they don't have rubber wheels, none of that. So you're kind of just paying for the licensing at that point. Just getting caught up, guys. Wish they made a... Oh, that would be cool too. The Hardcastle and McCormick. No, they're not even premiums, Motorhead Garage. No, they're literally just like main lines. Look at that. Yeah, so no rubber tires. Like they're literally almost main lines. And yeah, I could not believe it the other day. I thought, wow. Oh, the Death Proof Nova for $85. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. That's a great deal, Ted, by the way. I'd have been all over that for $85 if I seen it. Something I'm going to mention to you guys that I mentioned in the last video in case you guys missed it. And it has to do with the car that we just mentioned, actually. So the person that got it, it's my friend Dale, and he probably paid more than $85, but he at least got it for retail price, okay? He wanted that car, and I didn't know about back order stuff, okay? I didn't know how this worked or anything, but he was trying to order, he wanted that car, the Death Proof 1 of 18 scale Nova. Like me, he didn't want to pay eBay prices, so he was thinking of ways, how could he get this thing, right? he got in touch with a company called Diecast Direct, and I guess it said on the website that they had it. So he thought he was in luck. And then they told him, "Oh, we don't have it." And he said, "Okay." And they said, the clerk, whoever he was talking to, said, "Would you like us to put it on back order for you?" And he was kind of like me, like back order. He was probably wondering, what's that? You know what I mean? But he said, "Okay, yeah, put it on back order for me." And he had forgotten about it. And almost a year passed. And they got a hold of him and said, "Your car's in." And he's, "What car?" "Oh, the Death Proof Nova that you got." And he just got it a couple days ago. So it's something, it's another tool in your belt, I guess you could say, is it doesn't hurt to ask about back order, because I've never heard of something like that happening. And like I said, the company offered it to him. So that was kind of cool. That's a great price. It's important to know that GMP Nova is a very early piece from them. The doors don't open. Oh, that's good info too. The Nova is on a peach dates. And speaking of, yeah, we have older Grand Nationals that are beautiful. Like there's a chrome one here that's gorgeous. Like it's some commemorative chrome edition by GMP, but the doors don't open as well. Funny thing that we're mentioning a GMP Nova. One of the things I shared on Facebook was, it was one of my posts that said "shop around," because I show you how the market. So one guy will charge something for this, another guy will charge this, right? Just to show you to shop around. Well, I found a GMP Nova. It looks nice, but it's got to be an older one because it's not in a cake box. Ugh, that was my fault. It's a black Nova. It's got the Chevy symbol on the back window, and it's not in a cake style box. It's in a box like this with the window on the front of it. Okay, so that tells you it's probably old. There was one on this week on Marketplace, mint for $125, and I said, "Wow, that's a good deal for that." And it's still, nobody's grabbed it, and it might be because of what you're saying, that maybe nothing opens on it. But the point is, there's one for $125, and then I found the same exact car, guys, for $250. So that's what I mean. I would never want one of you guys to buy a car for $250, and then a couple days later you see it, and you're like, "Damn it!" You know what I mean? Because I see that stuff all the time, and that's why it's very important to shop around for this stuff. Don't pull the trigger right away unless it's a car you know is a good deal. You know what I mean? Like obviously that black Honda Civic, if it was the real deal, I didn't have to shop around for that. I still kick myself. That one a couple weeks ago, $150 in the box. And I said, "Oh, it's a few days till it was listed for probably a month." He had it for 200, then he dropped it to 150. And it was sitting there. And I said, "You know what? If that's still there, payday, I'm going to grab it. Payday's only a few days away. It's been there for months and months and months." And yeah, it got sold on me. I was like, "Damn it." And that Honda, we were supposed to do a review with that. So I was like, "Yeah, I got a car to review and take pictures of, and it's going to be a good one." But that didn't work out. So tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm either going to really look hard for a car to buy, or I'm going to borrow a car from somebody to review, because it's been a while since we did an unboxing, and I miss unboxings. We just go through droughts sometimes. It's either feast or famine with this stuff. Either we're finding a ton of stuff, or we go through a little drought where there's not much stuff. You know what I mean? But if you guys have been watching the channel for a minute, you guys know how that works, I'm sure. Hey, Neil, I absolutely love the cast behind you for displaying your... Oh! Good news, bad news about these. I will show you, Luigi, okay? So these are called... I fell in love with them too when I got them. Or when I seen them, I had to have them, okay? So these are called Bertby cabinets. They are Bertby. And they're from IKEA, believe it or not. Now, these are the perfect... I love them, guys, for die cast. I went and had more shelves cut. I figured out, I measured how many cars it would fit. I had more shelves cut, $5 a shelf for the glass shelves. I put lights in them. The lights are probably, yeah, they're dead. I haven't used them. I got to charge the lights up. Ooh, careful. Yeah, my lights are all dead. But I got little touch lights from the dollar store. It looks wicked lit up. But they're called burpee cabinets. Now you would think, wow, that's a killer cabinet. They must sell a ton of them because they're perfect for die-cast cars. They discontinued them. Now I did hear a couple people online were like, "Oh, I had those, and the whole thing exploded on my wall and fell down and wrecked everything." And it's like, most people, they don't have any bad experiences. I don't know anybody personally that's had a bad experience. Luigi, I don't know if you're on my Facebook. Now, the bad thing about these cabinets is Burpee discontinued them, okay? But you could still get them. I got mine probably a year ago on Marketplace because they've been discontinued for years. You can find them cheap on Marketplace. I got one for $40, and I traded stuff for the other one to Batman Bill. I think got a local collector called Batman Bill that we know. I think this used to be Batman Bill's here, this one. And this other one I bought for $40 off Marketplace. But that's the name of them. IKEA Burtby, Bertby. And like I was saying, if you're on my Facebook, Luigi, what else I could do is, I don't know if you're good at building stuff, but there are people that love these cabinets so much that made the exact plan to build them and shared the plans online. So if you're on my Facebook, if you shoot me a message, I will look up the plans and get them out to you in case you're a guy that can build them. But yeah, I think there's some of the nicest cabinets going, and they hang on the wall. These are actually hanging on my wall. You can hang them, or I think there's a little bracket you can get to just sit them on the ground. Because if you sit them on the ground, you can't open the door. You'll be putting it on the door. But yeah, I love them. They don't take up much footprint either. The Billy was also, yeah, Billy is a good one too. That's another one that I was actually looking at, was the Billy case. And of course, we know the Detolf. I have a Detolf one over there. It's just a glass cube. You know what I mean? Those aren't bad. I call those the Detolfs, like a starter cabinet kind of, because they're not, if you move from one place to another and stuff, people that have them know they're not good for moving around. They get loose and stuff. But I've had mine for years now. And yeah, you couldn't put a ton of die-cast cars in them, but you could put a few. My Detolf just has like autographed boxing gloves in it, stuff like that. But yeah, the Billy is another good one. That's one that I was looking for. And no problem at all, Luigi. Herbie. Somebody likes Herbie. I got a Herbie for you. This is a black box Herbie, so it's not the elite one. It's the original Herbie, but it's not the elite one. I was saying that looks identical to elite Herbies, like, and it looks very much like my Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo, except it's got different tires, stuff like that. But I mean, the quality looked the same. What did they not do to this to make it not elite, right? And I explained it in a video. It has less detailing, not much less, but a little bit less on the inside. And they actually, the hood, or the trunk rather, on this, I should say, at one time opened on this. You could feel them moving around, but they bolted them shut. They actually bolted them shut. So it's almost like two cars were going down the conveyor belt at the factory. They got to a certain point, and this guy went to the less detail line for the black boxes. The elites go to the elites and get more details. You know what I mean? But yeah, it still looks beautiful. Still looks good sitting on the shelf. Got working suspension. But yeah, normally the black box stuff, I say be careful because you don't want to pay an arm and a leg. Like, one thing I warn people about I love the is the bottom metal. I love Herbie too, my friend. Bottom is actually plastic. Bottom of it is plastic, but the rest of it is die cast. That's weird. Sounds like something like loose inside the car here. That's weird. One thing I warn collectors about is, you know, Hot Wheels, those red box ones. It's called the Heritage line, I think it's called. They come in red boxes, okay? And I think they're the same as the black boxes too. I think they just switch style of boxes, but somebody told me the black boxes are not Heritage. They're just called black box. So I'm not sure, but they're very similar. You see the 18 van, the red box Hot Wheels 18 van, people want $300 for it, okay? Do not buy that, and I'll show you guys why. We'll get into a couple cars here while we're sitting here. So the red box van, you can get the green light version right here, and in my opinion, it beats the pants off of the Hot Wheels red box one because it's got the opening sliding side door. It's got more bang for the buck. Now, obviously, if you want the best of the best, Hot Wheels Elite with the 3 antennas. The Hot Wheels Elite, the barn doors open and all that stuff. But if you can't get the Elite, and if it comes down to the red box one or the green light, I suggest saving a few bucks and getting more bang for your buck and getting this guy. Now, the barn doors don't open on this, but the side doors open and the front doors open. And again, guys, this is green light made this. I don't have too many 1 of 18 scale green lights, guys. I usually tend to try to go for the other brands. But this guy here offered bang for the buck, I thought. Yeah, I couldn't picture paying $300 for a van that barely has any openings, and then there's one for half the price that the door opens like that, right? Oh, 118 Herbie by Johnny Lightning. I would like to have a look at one of those one day, Ted, because as you probably are, oh, and I did that again. Pulled the door off the track. Glad it goes back on. Play with that later. I have some Johnny Lightning as well. The door's right off, but it goes back on. What do I have handy here? Johnny Lightning, I think, is okay too. They here's one that I got. Actually, I showed that. I could show it again. I would like to look at the Johnny Lightning Herbies because I don't know a lot about those guys, actually. I do know that I have this of Johnny Lightning. Now, this costs, this is one of the ones that's harder to get. You don't see them often for sale on Marketplace, and when you do, they're kind of pricey. This I got for cheap. I think I paid $125 or something in the bubble. My bubble, because these come in one of those bubbles, you know, and my bubble got a little bit damaged. So I'm looking for something that has a different bubble that I could put on it, maybe. But I'm trying to think if I have any other 1 of 18 Johnny Lightnings. But I think this, and do I got anything else by them? No, I think this is it. And it's not, I like Johnny Lightning. It just the way the cards fell, I guess, with my collection. This kind of looks cartoonish. Eh? People either love this or hate it. Eh? Like, I'll put up pictures on Facebook of, say, like Auto Art Bullet, and I'll get like hundreds of likes. And then I could put this up, and I'll get like 5 likes. People, like normal people, probably look at it, like not normal people, but non-collecting people probably look at this, and they're like, that looks like a kid's toy. And I agree, it does. And I got to admit, I kind of got it just because of the hunt involved with it and because it's a harder to get one. But it does kind of look like a kid's toy. But it is die cast. 18 vet bike. Oh, you know what? I kicked myself. Is there a B.A. Baracus? Oh, yeah, you can get B.A. Baracus figures. People are making them in resin now and stuff like that. And what I do for some of my figures, you actually can get a B.A. Baracus in 3 3/4 because but it would be the Galoob vintage ones. So I use vintage action figures usually just because of the cool factor with them. Sorry to you guys that have been around for a minute if I'm repeating info, but this is for people that haven't been around for very long. So these are vintage action figures. Bo and Luke Duke. They're the old Migos. They're 3 3/4 inch. These work perfect to display with 1 of 18 scale cars. Like when my General Lee's out of the box, I stand these beside it and they go perfectly with it. So I tell people rather than paying, because the resin ones, when people do them, they're pretty pricey. These articulate. You could drop them on the floor. They don't break. So I like using these with my cars. Plus, they have the cool vintage factor. But what I was saying was BA Baracus, they have ones like this size made by Galoob that would work perfectly. And I didn't even think of that until you mentioned it. So thank you for that. I'm going to try to get a BA Baracus, one of the little ones, by either Galoob or Hasbro, I think. The Mystery Machine looks screen accurate. Are you talking about for the cartoon? I'll admit, buddy, I have not seen it for years and years and years, but you saying that, it actually makes me feel better. One thing I'll say, though, and I mentioned it on here earlier, they made 2 different companies made this. The Ertl company or Joyride Ertl, they're both the same people, and Johnny Lightning. And if I showed you guys a picture, they're both supposed to be 1 of 18. So the Ertl one comes with the figures. For this one here, I bought figures secondary. They're easy to get Scooby-Doo figures, the proper size. The Ertl one comes with figures, okay? But it's like way smaller than this guy. Way smaller. So it's like, which one's the correct size? You know what I mean? Oh, and the Greenlight A-Team vet. So the person, okay, so Motorhead and Luigi. I'm going to mention that. So the Greenlight A-Team, Greenlight A-Team vet, I can kick myself. I think I even mentioned it in a video while I was pondering it. I don't remember what I bought instead. But I was closing a deal on a car that I really, really wanted. I can't remember what it was, but it was something I really wanted. And there was a company, I think it was Nice Car Diecast or Passion, one of the ones in Quebec, were selling that car that you guys mentioned, the 1 of 18 scale vet, for peanuts. Like it was on sale for, I think, $69.99 or something like that. Now that was not including shipping and all that, but we're talking about you would have got it for $90 shipped to your door or something when all was said and done. And I couldn't get it because I had something else in the works. I can't remember what it was, but I said I can only do this one here. If that's still on sale, I will grab it. Nope. Of course, it's sold out. I should have known for that price. And I've kicked myself ever since about that because the A-Team vet, after seeing it in pictures beside the A-Team van, it's something I never wanted before. And then I changed my mind when I seen it in pictures. And when I missed it like that, I was like, damn it. That sucked because it was on sale for a really, really good price. Does anybody collect 118 semi trucks? Oh, it was Nice Car. There you go. Yep. So yeah, I kicked myself. You've seen that. I actually missed that. Anybody collect 1 of 18 semis? You know what? The ones that I would collect, my friend, and it's on the list for one day to get, is they made a 1 of 18 scale Smokey and the Bandit truck and trailer. I believe it was Road Kings that did the truck. I can't remember if it's Road Kings that did the trailer too. I think there's a couple different companies that are doing the trailer even. I'm not sure, but you can get the Smokey and the Bandit 1 of 18 scale truck, and they have BJ and the Bear. So yeah, I would definitely collect those. I don't have them yet, but it is definitely something I would get. The Thunder Roller, that's it. That's it, buddy. Yeah, you can get that in 1 of 18 scale by a company. I believe Road Kings does that as well. Auto Art did a Green Hornet. Oh, they did. And you know what's funny? That is one that is on my list. and it's on my list to unbox. My friend Dave has that, an Auto Art Green Hornet. In fact, you know what? I might ask him to borrow that to unbox it. That's a good idea that you mentioned that. It's definitely one that's on my list to unbox and review because it looks excellent in photographs. And that's one that I've never done on the channel. So maybe I'm going to give a call tomorrow and try to borrow that. Oh, it's a company called Auto Art that did the Green Hornet, if that's what you're talking about. Oh, you have it. Well, there you go. Yeah, I heard that it has gadgets and everything on it. So yeah, I definitely want to check it out. I've unboxed so many cars on the channel, guys. It's wild if there's when we get a movie car that I haven't unboxed or whatever, and that's one that I've never checked. So that is definitely one that I want to check out for sure. Yeah, thinking about it, there's several that I haven't done yet that I would have liked to check out. And I'm glad to hear somebody said that they think that this looks pretty screen accurate because I thought, but then again, I don't remember how it looks. So I bought it for the chase, you know what I mean? Let's see, you got something that's a little bit harder to get. That's why I got that. Anything else interesting to talk? Oh, somebody was mentioning earlier. I've got to unlatch this guy. Somebody was showing me earlier. I don't know if they're in the live here now, but somebody was telling me earlier they showed me pictures of their Hot Wheels Charger, Hot Wheels Elite Charger. I don't have one of those. I hope to have one day. This is the version I have. It's the Ertl. The Ertl Dom's Charger. But the Hot Wheels one blows it away. Yeah, there's a couple heavyweights on my list that it's a matter of I'm going to track them down. It might take a year, couple years, whatever. But when I see them for the right price, this one, I don't know if I'll ever see it for the right price, but I hope I do. The Hot Wheels Elite one, you got to see the engine on it if you haven't, guys. It's got fully wired and everything. This one's not bad. It looks good in photographs. I was pumped when I got it. And I noticed this and the Supra, the orange Supra that I have, are starting to go up in value. I got this and the orange Supra at the same time. When I got them both for $250, I think it was. So $125 each, and the boxes were mint. But yeah, that's another thing on my list. I've got stuff on my want list, but my want list is stuff that I could live without it. And I've got what's called placeholders. So I would call that charger I just showed you guys a placeholder. And if I ever find one for a reasonable price, like my my crazy Ecto one that I got a couple weeks ago, then I just sell the placeholder. Like I had the Ertl Ecto one, and I got the Auto Art one, and I ended up selling the Ertl one. And I learned stuff unboxing stuff still as well because there was a lot of people that told me that the well, I'll go get it. Sorry guys, I'm going to get cars for you a few feet away. I'm not abandoning you guys. Okay. Oh, cool. I could show you the figures too. There's a couple cars here I'm going to show you guys. I'll show you this first. So this guy here, I got it for a screaming deal, and it had never been open. Okay. The only thing wrong with it, there's no dings in the plastic. It's got perfect plastic still, but there is some weight left on the box, so I'm still kind of straightening the hump out of the top of the box. This I got for $125, which is a crazy price for it. They're numbered, stuff like that. But it's only one of 20, but 1 of 21 scale, I would say. It's not full scale. If you want the full scale Ecto 1, go with Hot Wheels Elite. Because it's the full scale. You get the little gurney. There's a little gurney that goes in the back of it and all that. Good figures for your Ecto 1, though, that you can get on Amazon still is these ones. They're called, they come with accessories. You got to watch they don't fall. These are called the Ghostbusters Plasma Pack. They came out for It was like an anniversary type thing, and I believe you could still get them on Amazon. And they are the perfect size to display with your Ecto 1. So again, the 3 3/4 inch figures work perfect with your cars. About G.I. Joe size, I would say. Well, not about, they are. And sorry guys, I will check comments in a second, just showing you guys some stuff. There we go. Yeah, those are a nice size. And they articulate. I've been explaining the scale difference, even if it says, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Even the Maisto trucks. That's another video I'm going to be doing. I'd like to get Herbie the Volkswagen Bug one day. Do they have Brian's? Yes, they do. The silver one, they have it in 1 of 18 scale, Brian O'Connor's car. Man, if you could find it, like I think there's only 1 or 2 of them on eBay right now. Racing Champion sells it. The same company that made the Black Charger here. Same company makes Brian Skyline. And for some reason, either nobody wants to sell, because it's not a numbered car. I guess nobody wants to sell them, though. They cost a lot of money. Wow. That's another one. If I ever see it, I'm going to grab it. Even if it's loose, I'm going to grab it. Just catching up on comments, guys. And that's a video I'm going to be doing soon, Greg, is I'm going to explain scales, because another thing that's not the proper scale is the Maisto trucks. As nice as they are, those Fords, they're nice looking, but those are not full scale. As soon as I seen those, I could tell from seeing, Greenlight Bigfoot, the Fall Guy truck, for example. The Fall Guy truck, the body on it's huge. So when I seen that, I was like, that's not 1 of 18 scale. Sure enough, it's not 1 of 18 scale. Hey Neil, I took apart my Ertl Fast Furious Charger and built a General Lee with those Fast and Furious at the time, bought from Walmart. Wow, that sounds killer. That's the stories I like hearing about, is the people that find this stuff at retail level. I could not even picture. And that's what I'm always preaching to the collectors today, is try to get it while it's in the stores. Stuff that comes out. Because once it hits the secondary market, hits eBay and all that, forget about it. There's no rhyme or reason for pricing. Hot Wheels Elite Love Bug version. It's the best. Yeah, Hot Wheels Elite's the best one. Yeah, Hot Wheels Elite makes the best Herbie for sure. This one I'm okay with because it's the original Herbie. I didn't have the original Herbie. I had the Monte Carlo one. So I wanted at least an original one. But yeah, Hot Wheels is definitely the best one. But you know what, Samuel? If you're like me, you're like a lot of people, and you're not a rich guy, you don't have a lot of money, you can go with Solido, or you can go with, I did a video yesterday that showed AliExpress has a Herbie right now. Actually, one sec. I got a couple more cars to show you guys. Forgive me. So I don't have the Herbie from AliExpress, but I have a very similar one. I got another TV car I'll show you guys too that's hiding up here that I don't take out often. This one I don't take out often. It's a pretty big one. Big, physically big. I'll grab it in a second here. Keep it hidden from you guys. Okay, so AliExpress. So, Motorhead's Garage, Greg is right about the Hot Wheels stuff. Unfortunately, some of us don't have a lot of money or don't want to pay a lot of money. Or let's say you like Herbie, but not enough to spend the money, okay? AliExpress, a couple months ago, I bought this. It's die cast. I plan to make it into a Bumblebee. I'm going to order decals tomorrow. It's a real easy project because I just have to put the decals there, okay? Like one there and one there, whatever. But I wanted to do a Bumblebee and put a little Bumblebee statue beside it, like one of the little metal transformer ones. So this lights up, makes sounds, car alarm on it, like just weird. But the thing is, it's decent quality. Now this one's yellow, it's not Herbie, but what I was telling you is they did a Herbie one. And if you check the very last video I did, which was posted yesterday, my friend Max ordered the Herbie one. Max is not on here right now because he probably thinks that the stream is canceled because I said it was canceled. But Max ordered the Herbie one. It costed him $35 to his door. And it, it has the headlights and all this other stuff, lights up. And it's not terrible quality, and it is die cast. Like I said, the Hot Wheels ones or any of the other ones will smoke it for quality and stuff, like for details, but these are not bad. Like they're for $35 shipped to your door. That's not bad at all. And it's die cast. So picture this one, but done up like Herbie. It's got rubber wheels. Totally made in China though. Totally, like it's got Chinese writing on it, stuff. But if you got money, if you can afford the better quality one, get the better quality one, because what happens is when I started out, I was trying to save money wherever I could, and I would buy the cheaper versions. Sorry if I'm eating, guys. I'd buy the cheaper versions, and then I'd have buyer's remorse. Damn it, I should not have bought that. I should have bought the better one. So now what I do is I'll buy the best one I could afford and one that I could live with. And then if the better one comes along, like the Ecto, for example, if the better one comes along, then I buy it. You know what I mean? But if this didn't come along, I could have lived with my Ertl one. But I'm still looking for a Hot Wheels Elite one, to be honest with you. And if I find a Hot Wheels Elite one for the right price, I would keep the Auto World one, and I would keep the Hot Wheels Elite one, because then I would have both of the best ones. But yeah, I always say to try to get the better quality one. It's actually Greg in the comments that told me about quality over quantity, and that's something that I actually go by because he was right about that. You don't want to get something and then see the better one and regret it, or see the better one for less money sometimes, because that's how it works. Like I see all the time die-cast cars that people overprice them because it's like a Wild West on Marketplace, and it's like, wow, I could get the more accurate one for way cheaper than that, you know? So yeah, I always tell people to try to get the best one that they can get. That way you don't have buyer's remorse. And no problem, my friend. Mask. Oh, I remember Mask. I wasn't really into Mask, but I do remember Mask. And who is making those now? It's that company that made ramen racers. You know, something that I would buy, but they're crazy on the secondary market now. That ramen racer General Lee, I regret not buying it because I've seen people with them. They might not be accurate like a silver screen, but they look pretty good sitting there, and they're pretty big, and yeah, they look pretty decent. The next one that they're going to be doing is that they don't call it the mystery machine, the misery machine they call it. And it's funny, it's supposed to be the Scooby-Doo van, but it's not the Econo line or whatever that's supposed to be. This one's a VW, I guess, or whatever it's supposed to be. They actually did it using a Vandura, like the A-Team van, so it basically looks like the A-Team van, but done up like the Scooby-Doo van. It looks pretty cool. And that's the company that makes ramen racers, and I think that they are coming out with some Mask stuff as well. And that's what Motorhead's Garage was mentioning. I hope this did not freeze or go off the air or something. Let me know in the comments if I'm still live, because remember a couple of weeks ago we were having lives crash, but then I fixed the problem because my secondary router that shoots the signal further. Okay, good. Thank you, Greg. Because the reason I ask is because one time I was sitting here and I didn't know it was off the air, because I said I'll catch up on the comments in a few minutes, guys. And I unboxed the car. I can't remember what car it was. And I was going on for 15 minutes talking to nobody. Like I was sitting here by myself. All of a sudden I look at the comments here and there's a bunch of people saying, "Oh, I guess it's over, blah blah blah, he's gone, blah, blah." And I jumped off. If that ever happens, if this ever crashes, that looks majorly crooked, but it's not. It's the way the camera is. If that ever crashes, if this ever crashes, I'm gonna go right out and go back in and start a new one. Like I would never just go, "Oh, screw it," you know what I mean? Because I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Holy crap! And it's already been an hour and 15 minutes, so I'm gonna hang out for another couple minutes, and then Retro is gonna go relax a little bit. My lower back gets a little bit sore sitting here. Remember, I got an injury that it's funny because I'm very fortunate by God. My injury, I can throw around heavy stuff all day. Okay. You know, my back injury bothers me when I'm doing this. Or let's say if I had a job where I had to stand in the same spot all day, I couldn't do it. I could throw heavy stuff all day long and it doesn't bother me. Sitting in the chair bothers me. That's because I spent over a decade working in call centers thinking I was out. So I'm not beating my body up. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. That sitting in that chair all those years gave me degenerative disc disease and wedging in my discs. So I thought I was smarter, but I wasn't. Ted Eubanks redacted a message. Yeah, Ted must be mad. Maji's just swearing on there and he just redacted. Ted wouldn't do that. Well, before I go, the other car, and it's a car that I don't show often. It's funny. It's like I look like a kid. I've got toys all over the table here. Another car that I do not show often, and to any new collectors that are in the comments, this is one that you could still get from some retail outlets. Okay, so if you can still get it, well, it's retail cost, get it. This thing is big. Believe it or not, from the bottom of this car to the top of this thing, I believe it was like the same height as the Fall Guy truck or something. I can't remember. When I did the video, I did the measurements, and this does not fit in my Burpee cabinet because of the horn. Like it just fits lengthwise. That's one of the good things about the Ecto 1 being not 1 of 18 scale, because when I had a 1 of 18 scale Ecto, it would not fit in the Burpee. The 1 of 21 scale does, not the full scale. So this is the Blues Brother cars. This is by Auto World, one of my favorite companies, Auto World, for their silver screen machines. You guys know that, how much I love them. So now Ernl also made this, okay? And you'll notice sometimes online, the less deep. Now I love Ernl, you guys know that, but they don't have anything on this, okay? The less detailed ones by Erdl online, you might notice that they're fetching more money than these now. And it's not that they're more detailed, it's because they've appreciated over the years. There's several of these older cars by Erdl. If you got the box and the box is still good and everything, I've noticed natural appreciation just over the last couple of years. But if you have a choice, this is the one you want to go with here by Auto World. They did a phenomenal job replicating everything. Even on the dashboard, it's still got, you could see the, what is it? Oh yeah, you could see junk up on the dashboard. Smokes and candy or whatever it is. It's got the siren right on the top. The Erdl one, when you get it, you have to put the siren on it just because of the box size or whatever. But Auto World's got pretty good with the boxes. Start showing you guys around. The only problem I ever had with this car is this came undone. But that's a very easy fix. One of the little ropes there, not a big deal. I got this one brand new. I believe mine came from Quebec, I believe, from Nice Car Diecast, probably. But pop the trunk. Got something in the trunk. And it just looks weathered. The tires look dirty. They just did an amazing job on it. Show you guys the inside of her. In fact, I think I should do a photo shoot with this guy tomorrow because it's been a minute. The interior looks pretty phenomenal. That looks pretty accurate to the old Dodges. Steering wheel and all that. Show you guys. Oh, I can never tell what side I'm on because of the darn camera. There we go. See, with Auto World, it's not just details where you could see them. It's details everywhere. Even spots you can't see. And you know what's impressive about the Auto World guys? A lot of the cars, they make it so that the back doors don't open, just the front. It's funny, that might be the first time I've had the back doors open on this, to be honest, but all four doors opening like this is not a quality that's on every car of this scale. Some of them, they just do the front doors and say, okay, that's enough, that's good enough. Come on, you. Need my little tool. It's not here. Is that door? Okay. Wow, they open nice and wide too. So sometimes I complain about doors not opening for my pictures, guys. Not opening wide, rather. That is a wide opening door, and that's because of the nice hinges that they use for these. That thing opens nice and wide. Good job, Auto World. I'd never opened the back doors on here. That's probably why I'm struggling so much. But you could even see in the back seat, of course, that was before the days of the partitions in the police cars. But details right out the wazoo. And this is a car that, again, you can get on the retail market. Now, I'm going to catch up on comments. We're all kids. Yeah, I'm a kid, buddy, for sure. You already know that. The NORAD General Lee. That is awesome, Sam. I'm glad that you grabbed it because that's something that is a lock. You got something cool, and it's going to go up in value, absolutely. Like something in 2025 that already has the flag that you don't have to apply it yourself. Yeah, that was a lock. That was a very good that you grabbed that. Everybody I told to grab that if they could. Does have a number on the bottom of it, 1095, but I don't know if it's got anything to do with anything. But nice and heavy as well. And yeah, I left out the best part. So, like I was saying before, these resin figures, if you get them, they are not cheap, okay? So if you buy the Auto World Blues Brothers car, this is why you buy the Auto World and not the Ertl. You get these guys. So you're not only getting, oh cool, you could actually see it. You're not only getting way better detail, you're getting the Auto World Silver Screen Machines detail and quality, but you're getting figures as well to go with it. Like, how cool is that? That's one thing I'm hooked on big time is figures. Big time. To go with the cars, they just enhance it so much. And I got to show you guys the best part of this guy. I think they did decently under there, too. Are you talking about Blues Brothers, Luigi? You loved the movie? I loved it, too. And the good thing, Luigi, like I was saying, is this one here is not terribly old, and there's some retail outlets still carrying this car. So, Luigi, if you are on Facebook at all, or if you follow me on Facebook, I encourage people to follow me on Facebook. If you get a hold of me, ping me, send me a message or whatever, I will look up a link for one of these cars in case you want to order it. Because yeah, it's you could get them for almost retail cost still. In fact, Giuliano, he's not in the comments tonight, I don't think. Giuliano got one of these from Dundas Valley Hobby not long ago. It's a store that I brought you guys a couple months ago back to visit. Me and Stretch went out there, I believe. And they still have this guy. They had the A-Team vet too, Greg, but they wanted regular prices for it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I could physically walk in and get an A-Team vet there. I just can't remember how much it is. But yeah, people that want this, you could still get it in some retail outlets. And for anybody that missed, before I go, the Daisy Duke Jeep, you know, the green light artisan one. If you did not get that, if you're like me and don't have that, maybe you weren't collecting when it came out or whatever, maybe you didn't know about it. To my shock, they're coming out with that again this year in 2025. There's already companies that have pre-order links to pre-order it. And it's not a terrible amount of money. Believe it or not, I think it was $79.95 plus tax for one of those Jeeps. And I thought they looked amazing in the photographs. So yeah, do not pay secondary prices for that Daisy Duke Jeep if you're wanting one for your Dukes collection. Hold off just a little bit because there's more coming. They've reissued it for some reason. And it makes me wonder what else they're going to reissue. I don't mind they reissued it because it gives people a chance to buy it. So that's kind of cool too. And they won't keep reissuing it. So eventually it'll stop and then it'll start, you know, appreciating on its own. Okay, guys, that's about it for the night. We got a lot more cars to check out, but we'll do it another time. And sorry for the old-time viewers that have been around for a while. Maybe you've seen me unbox some of these. There's newer viewers in the comments asking about stuff. I get new subscribers, new viewers a lot, so I like to keep them up to speed as well. So I guess this is our car of the night. I can't stop looking at this one myself now. Illinois plates even on it. Awesome. So thank you guys so much for coming. 11 viewers and 11 likes. You guys are solid. Wow. So anybody that's new here tonight, every Saturday I do a live. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern time usually. Tonight I had to go later because I wasn't feeling well. I've tried to do lives on Sunday before. They just don't work. People are with their family, getting ready to go back to work, stuff like that. So thank you, 11, for coming because it was very spur of the moment. Because you got to think, I put up a notice 2 hours ago saying the live's canceled. I'm not feeling well. Probably 2 or 3 hours ago. And then I put up another one right before I went live and said, oh, I feel better. I'm going to go on. Like some of the regulars are not even on here. Like Nate never misses a live. I feel bad because he doesn't know about it. I think I messaged him, but Nate, don't feel bad. It was spur of the moment. And thank you, IKCS, for coming. Thank you so much for coming. Thank all you for coming. Thank you, Greg, for helping me out tonight with the red seatbelt. I'm going to remember that. That's a good trick. I'm going to tell other people that trick as well. Thank you all for coming, guys. I got another video coming down the pipe, and the next one video you see, there's going to be a car unboxed. We've been having a little bit of a drought. Tomorrow, my mission is to get another car to unbox and review. Had a couple fall through this week, fall through the cracks. We're on it. We're going to be unboxing one if we have to borrow one, and I think I might try to hit Dave up for his Green Hornet one. So we'll see how that goes. But guys, thank you so much for coming. And the new viewers on the live tonight, if you haven't seen this, there's a video how to make that as well for like $100. You don't got to pay out the butt for this, the hovering DeLorean. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. So, yeah, it would have been the wrong Civic. So thank you. Now I know what I'm looking for. It's a little trick similar to the Monte Carlo. Thank you, Greg. So thanks you guys for coming. Uh, Thank you for all the likes. I've now got 11 viewers and 12 likes. And just a message to new viewers, you could always chime in here. We're a friendly bunch. Nobody trolls you. If anybody attacks you, they get kicked out. That will never happen here. And yeah, guys, stay safe and happy hunting. And there will be another video coming down the pipe at you guys very, very soon. Thank you all for tonight. An hour and 30 minutes. Wow. You know what? It feels like 20 minutes with all you guys because we have such fun. So thank you very much, guys, and have a good rest of your Saturday night. Take it easy.